Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do some ZRacing. We're going to do these Crown Coastal Loop and get all set up for that. Hopefully you're all prepped for Christmas. You're having a good old time. Let's get signed up for this. Oh, throws me into that. Events. Here we go, ZRacing. We're all signed up. 18 people. 19 people now, including me. I do not see any familiar names in there. We'll see how it kind of goes. I don't know. I feel like if I don't win soon, that I should just end the old YouTube account. Win or be done. So we're going to go switch up our bike here. Let's switch to that. Pause the sauce for a moment. And we'll see what we have in the old garage. I think we're on the Pinarello with Anvil wheels. I know in theory it is a bit slower than the disc by about 2-3 seconds, but to be frank, I mean, it's going to be won or lost for me on the hill anyways. That's just how that all sort of works out. So we're just going to chill. Race is like 40 minutes away. Oh, early start today. So we're just going to noodle slowly. And then go from there. Turn the Sauciola back on for a moment. Thanks for the ride on, Evil Steph. We're just going to chill. So I don't know what you guys have planned for the Christmas holidays. If you're a Rafa 500 type, or if you plan on racing lots. I haven't really given it a thought through. Like I said, I'm on Trainer Road. I do have a training plan. However, I imagine this next 2 weeks, that training plan is going to go out the window, just because I've got a little bit of time off, and then when I have a little bit of time off, I tend to fill those hours with doing longer rides. So last year, I think I did an inadvertent festive 500. I never say I'm going to do it, but I always kind of end up doing it anyways. And I know last year in particular, that's when I started, because Twitch Twitch started allowing multi-streaming again, so we started streaming on Twitch again, and lo and behold, there was a ton of people doing the Festive 500. It's interesting, you know, the two communities kind of run concurrent to each other. There are people, and I dip my toes in both, obviously. There's people that I watch on Twitch all the time. There's people that I watch on YouTube. A lot of people are doing the same thing. But it's interesting how certain communities are, you know, sort of much larger into certain things. Much larger, you know, some people have a larger audience over there than they do here, and vice versa. The one thing that I did notice was that with Twitch, there was a ton of people doing the 500 rides, tons of people. Great participation. And, you know, with the rating capacity that Twitch has, lots of people jumping stream to stream to stream, riding together. Really kind of cool to see. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have that capacity as of yet. I would love to see some sort of live stream raid feature on YouTube. But that being said, half the time I forget to do it on Twitch. Although, to be fair, I don't feel that I have, like, a lot of times, like, I'll look at the stream summary, you know, there'll be my numbers on YouTube will be, you know, 20, 30 times larger than Twitch, meaning that I'm usually streaming to one person over there. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Not complaining, I'm just making an observation. And when I'm done riding, generally we have a little chit chat afterwards, and then it's, once I'm off stream, I'm basically in the shower, and getting cleaned up, because everybody that rides indoors will know that you just, you don't care how many fans you got running. If you do a race and you have a high sweat rate, you are gonna need a shower. I'll just put it that way. So that's what we do. That's what we do. So, like I said, the riding thing hasn't been going great. I feel like I really lost a step. It'll come back, but it's just, I was hoping for a lull and then a boost. And I'm not sure that boost is going to come. The irony is that in the strength training department, I have definitely seen some bigger improvements. Things coming much easier. And I think when you really compare the two, it's the difference between weight training and racing, cycling, is that you don't control the variables when you race. It's controlled by the strongest people in the group, is controlled by the race, unless you are that person, which I am not. That race is going to go how that race is going to go. Weightlifting, that control is all you. So if you want to go further, you want to go a bit deeper, you can definitely lead yourself into that. You know, if I want to set a sprint record in a race, that's either going to happen because it was meant to happen that way, or that I've done something structured where I'm just going for that goal and have my power. Because let's be honest, if you go as hard as you can in a race, for a long time. At the end, even if there's a sprint, you might not be setting a sprint record because you just might not have the legs left. You know, you need that perfect storm. Whereas, you know, it's this morning I was doing bench and I realized that I just kind of breezed. I went through one of my last sets quite easy, so we decided to up the weight, and you know, it felt pretty good. So it's but you know, I have setbacks in that too. I'm not gonna lie. There are times that things don't go as well, and what can you do? What can you do? So pretty excited that January's coming around. I think it's the best series for me is always Flat as Fast. It's my best chance of doing anything remotely close to a win or a podium. You know, as long as you can kind of stick to the group and be there for the sprint, you know, there's a chance. And that's definitely a thing that that can happen come February, because everything is pan flat. I also noticed that they split up the categories with the Zwift racing score, which I think is interesting. They're doing it in alt hours. I don't know kind of what the point is. I guess if you're like uber competitive, you'll definitely pick your slot, in the sense that you will pick a time where you're kind of at the top of whatever category it is. And I feel like sort of the out of the range, that's kind of the top 60 points, because I think that's what the overlap is about 60 points. That those that are within 60 points of the top of the category will be the main group. So if you're coming in at the bottom end, if you're like a fighter and you weigh 1 pound too much, or your Zwift racing score is 1 point too high, it's gonna be a tough day for you, because you are going to be in there with some ringers for sure. And what do we got? Half an hour till the event, so we got a bit of time. Like I said, we're just kind of noodling, low and slow. Get the legs warmed up. Get ready for this event. I've raced this a few times. I felt like when this kind of got released, we were like here all the time. It's been maybe a month and a half since I've raced this course. It's tough, man. It's like I said, climbing's not my forte. Climbing is not where I'm gonna go. It's definitely difficult in those regards for me. We're going with the Pinarello with the Envies. I feel like that's the best choice going into this. There's about 3 seconds difference between that and the Venge disc. Because it is an uphill finish, I feel like the climbing wheels are a better choice for me. Now, somebody else that might be different, but definitely for me, that's going to be the better choice. That being said, I was my last choice for the last race, and it didn't help me any, because I just did terrible overall. I just felt dead to the world that race. It's funny because I kind of, last week, I just kind of, I felt good on the Monday. I thought we were going to do all right. I kind of didn't go in all in at the end, just to kind of save some legs. I didn't want to push too hard. But lo and behold, I should have just done it because, like, the end result with ZRL was terrible. Oh my God. I have never, until that race, I have never done worse doing a recon, riding by myself, versus a race. Like, I was slower in the race. It just, and I guess that goes to show what can happen when you just sort of cook yourself. Like, you go too hard, you get into you too deep into your reservoirs, and you just cook yourself. And the rest of the ride is just, it's terrible, right? So, it goes to show you, you know, if you pop, I guess that's, well, I didn't bonk. I definitely popped. It just goes to show you. And I mean, I felt a little bit of outer knee pain on my left knee, which is interesting as well because the next day, what I was feeling wasn't pain in my left knee, it was actually behind my right knee. So I'm wondering if just from fatigue or whatever, I started compensating, and that's just how it started to manifest itself. It's just an interesting thing, an interesting observation, because it's definitely, you know, something that happens from time to time. And I do have to realize that I was coming back after, you know, a full 2 weeks off the bike. You know, dealing with altitude, being off the bike, and being sick all in one go probably didn't help my cause. I don't like to use it as an excuse, but, you know, they're all factors that played in. But it didn't feel great. You know, to be honest, it's sometimes I think for those of you who ride and are competitive and stuff, we get down on ourselves really for no good reason, and I think I was doing that a little bit to myself, if I'm to be quite honest and frank. I just felt like I wasn't doing my best, and that I should be doing better, and there was little I could do about it in those regards. But that's just how we all sort of roll. See, Miguel has jumped online. He'll be racing a category above. I'm going to be hovering. I am sure we're going to join him soon enough, but trust me, I'm going to hover in this lower category for as long as I can. All it's going to take, one podium and I'm up. That's what happened to Ethan. He podiumed. I didn't podium in Zwift, but I podiumed in Zwift Power. And those podium spots now with the Zwift Racing score are enough to send you up, I think. So all it will take is a top 3 finish, and we'll be on our way up. Yo, Miguel, how's it going? So we'll see how it goes at the end of the day. We got about 23 minutes before we go. I thought I saw General E lost in this group, but he is since no longer there. So I don't know. I think the last time I signed up for a race, I saw him and then he disappeared. I think he was doing the map stuff. Is kind of what he's been up to. All right, switch that to that. I will likely be hobbling this race. My legs are hurting from the weekend madness. Yeah, those tiny races, and I know you did some other work after that too, man. Those tiny races, they will put you through it. That is for sure. And you know, there is that cumulative kind of fatigue that you build up after a while. It's going to be an interesting kind of week. Like I said, I know a lot of, last year in my experience, a lot of Twitchers will be doing the festive 500. I end up doing a bunch of mileage over Christmas just because I got nothing better to do. So if you are on Twitch, give me a follow, because a lot of times when I do those silly rides where I'm just kind of noodling, I will be on Twitch, not on YouTube necessarily, unless I plan on racing. So we'll see how it sort of develops. And as I mentioned before, with Flat is Fast coming, us fat kids are chomping at the bit, where the raw power matters, not the watts per kilo. Those lighter riders have been enjoying a lot of climbing stages over the past months of ZRacing. I have done a ton of suffering, and I look forward to the healthy sprints that will come about from just flat courses, because let's be honest, you're either going to have to really push to get away, which doesn't really happen, or you're going to sit out front and waste a bunch of watts and then get absolutely punished at the end from all the lazy ass sprinters that have just been sitting in doing as little as possible, except for that last 200, 300, 400 meters where they have to do a little bit of work. So looking forward to that, because like I said, the elevation is pretty, like, I mean, the first race is Tempest Fusion, which I'm on now, which some of you have commented on that my climbing elevation isn't high. I must ride a lot of Tempest Fusion. That is true, but I also do Trainer Road, which has 0 elevation. All their workouts are absolutely no elevation. It's just basically raw watts is how they operate. So there is no climbing. I mean, the truth of the matter is you're not climbing anywhere, and you're not putting any miles when you're on the trainer anyways. You're just sitting in one spot, moving the legs. How's your category looking, Miguel? How are things looking over there? I don't know what I am. I gotta take a look at things. I have not looked at my... So my Zwift racing score is 326. I feel like that's right on the cusp. But it is. It's like 350, isn't it? 350. Yeah. So we're right. That thing. I could mess it up for this new racing score, because I think the new racing score, the cusp is like 330. Is where you need to be at the top of one of the categories anyways, and then you get kind of bumped in. I think after you're like 331. Hello? Yes. Yes. Okay. Sure. Yep. Morning's good. Yep. 850 will work. Yep. Okay, Monday the 30th at 850. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Got to quickly put that in my calendar before I forget. I got a meeting. Did I say 15 or 50? Ah. I feel like climbing is all about having a good 20-minute power, and trainer road or Zwift workouts are really good for improving that from what I understand. Oh yeah, it's the constant spinning, I guess. It's the interesting thing with being inside is I feel like you don't have the advantage of body position. I mean, if you get a climb, 850. Perfect. Thank you. See, that's what happens when you're trying to like stream and you're trying to get a bunch of stuff done. I guess I could have just watched the stream afterwards and realized that. But appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, it's climbs are definitely about consistent power. It's about being able to consistently churn out those watts. What those numbers look like in an entirely different thing. The problem with me is that I think that I tend to grind. I need to tell myself to kind of spin instead of lowering the cadence. You know, instead of doing like 67, which is terrible right now, I should be up kind of, I should be at least in my 80s. And I've been doing that as well. I've been working on cadence drills, kind of trying to get things a little bit more copacetic at the end of the day. As far as my category goes, according to the Zwift Racing app site, I'm likely to end up in the top 20. The Zwift Racing app. Like I said, I had some fun with that. I'm just going to go stretch. I'm still going to talk. Favorite thing, Peter Twite used that all the time. It always would predict that I would beat Peter. And then Peter would spank me. And I think it's everybody that knows me that I can kick like a mule, but it's a fleeting kick. It's not going to last a long time. So as long as you get rid of me, you're pretty good to go at the end of the day. And I don't think that's particularly hard to do. And I think I get penalized healthily by the Zwift Racing score by my short power. Although, I will say, maybe that's why it dropped in the last month, because we were doing a ton of climbing races. We didn't do a lot of sprinting. I don't think I have a lot of sprint results in the last little while. I think that ZRS race that we had, where there was the intermediate sprint, where somehow I was doing 10 watts a kilo mid-race and not sprinting, kind of played into it. It's funny that way, but it is what it is. All right, we got to spread the word. Peter is a bit of a freaking idiot. Peter's just a good rider. He's a good rider. Consistent, and he can put the power down. And he does a good job of kind of sitting there and playing to his strengths. You know, I will say this, like, it's, you can tell a lot about how people ride by the power numbers at the end of the day. I mean, if you're sitting at the front of the race and you're top watts per kilo and everybody else is below you, that just means you've outpowered everybody, and that's good. But, you know, watch for the guys that are like definitively lower and still high placing. It just means that they've raced a smart race. Race IQ is, I would say, a lot more important in the real world than it is on Zwift. Zwift, it just tends to, you know, you can waste some energy unwanted, but, you know, like I said, I think when I was trying out Indy Velo, I kind of wish that Zwift had a little bit more positioning. I know they're doing it a bit with the steering. You know, I wish, like, you know, controlling the pace at the front and, you know, having your team plug up the road is a real thing. It's, you know, plugging up the corners, it's a real thing. It's, you know, slowing things down when it needs to be slow and making it fast when it needs to be fast are definitely things that happen in racing. It's just a bit hard to do it in Zwift, that's all. All right, let's drop. I am sure people are doing much more important things, being that we are this close to Christmas. But we will drop our links. Anyways. All right, let's see if we get any takers, and I should get back on the Zwift app here. Join the event, and we'll see how this all plays out, because there's way too much climbing for my liking. Which bike you going with, Miguel? I have decided to go with the Pinarello with the Envies again. Wow, 3 seconds slower. According to the data, we are looking at a course with an uphill finish, so I feel the lighter will help me there. I shall rely on my fatness to make up for the difference on the downhills. At 9:42 to go. We're going to leave the old Zwift Hubbarino. I just kind of like the gradient projector, which Sauce doesn't have yet. So we'll just kind of stick with the old Zwift view. I can see all my other fancy stuff that you can't. Nice. I think it's a good choice. I think lighter bikes are definitely the way to go. I mean, there's a lot of flat, don't get me wrong. But this race is won and lost on the climb, 100%. Although, like I said, you watch guys like Peter or Doom Guy or some of the bigger guys that can really sprint, really sprint. They can put a good amount of distance on that downhill, which makes it difficult for the group. And it's a good strategy if you're a bigger guy, but to be honest, I feel like by the time I hit that climb again, that I'm going to need all the energy that I can to just make it up. I mean, since you've got that little Mayan KOM kind of twice anyways, so we'll see. So key points, the Acropolis Sprint, the Mayan KOM, and the Outta KOM. I think it's Ghost and Feather are the power-ups. Ghost on the Acropolis. I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest. Like, it's no, unless you're going for a breakaway, unless you're that guy. Like I said, unless you're gonna put the hurt on everybody else, it's not going to be that valuable. The Feather definitely is going to come into play, 100%. Feather's going to be something else. Where you deploy it, I mean, that's going to depend on you as a rider. We got like 10 people in the pen here. I know we got 19 people showed up. And like I said, Elost was in here earlier, but he has since dropped out of here, so I don't think he is riding this. Miguel's in the category above, and I didn't see anybody else that was recognizable for me. Let me check out the old Zwifters nearby. First three guys are all C, C, C. 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 Oh, dear. We got a guy with nothing. What the heck? Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Ah, nice. So Ethan got promoted again. I think Ethan went up, came down. I know he said he was going to race again, and clearly he got promoted again. He's just kind of teetering on the edge of that group. It's like I said, it won't be long till I'm there. I think, you know, all it's going to take me to do is podium this race. And the dream is over of doing well for kind of the ZRacing. I think with the ZRacing, if I'm still in this cat on Tempest Fugit, that should be an interesting race for me, because it's a pancake route. It's a pancake route. All right, we got 424. Just do tiny races at your current category, and you'll likely get enough points to move up in that day. Tiny races are fun, but tiny races at the same time. See, the problem with tiny races is they're going to build those shorter power durations that weigh heavily. And like I said, I can generate lots of power for a short period of time. I just can't sustain what I need to sustain on top of that to make myself competitive, I think. So we'll see. This, again, will be interesting. The last three races have been all climbing. I've been just off the podium. We'll see. We'll see. Although Breakfast Crits and Grits is a lot more punchier than this one, this is a lot more sustained, which is not good for me. You know, a punch you know, for a short period of time where I'm allowed to recover. I got, you know, might get hurt after a while, but I have a chance. Long sustained, not so much. My webcam is frozen. Nice. Let's get that moving. Thanks for that, Lee. Well, at least I'd be good at something. Good at ventriloquism, bad at racing. How's it going, Lee? Hopefully you're all prepped for Christmas. All right, I say this every time, but let's not be crazy, guys. Let's just go out, have some fun, slow roll this thing. Let's not do too big an effort. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. It's good to see a wide variety of bikes, trons and wheels, and I don't see any discs per se. So everybody's thought about this. Ooh, that's like the Zwift basic bike. Hey, Evil Steph. Thanks for the ride on earlier. Like a minute before we start here. How's Cat C treating you, Steph? I saw you mention that you've entered Cat C territory. Thank you. Hopefully you're all ready for the holidays there, Evil Steph. For a lot of you guys, it'll be close to the 24th. You'll be watching from the future shortly for some of you. Or it's already the future now, or at least like 50 minutes till it's the future. All right, what do we got? 31. Well, there's a good number of people. I'm just going to try to stick with as long as possible is kind of the goal here. Looking straight up the grade does not look fun at the beginning of a race. Oh, wow. Long lead in for this one. Hey, Ren. You're right, they can't ever take it easy. .6 kilometer lead in. Thanks for the follow, Ren. Appreciate it. I believe that helped us hit our follower goal over on Twitch. Appreciate it, man. Or close to. I agree, 4th of 41 is a great result. "12 guys quit before." Why are people quitting before the finish? It's nuts. I didn't know rage quitting was a thing on Zwift. Oh, one quit 200 meters. Still bizarre. I forgot how flat, kind of rolly this first part really is. No thanks, Lee. Ooh, yeah. I've not been enjoying Titans as of late. I feel that. But good on you for making that bridge. I'm feeling the guy going through is going to pop a ghost. We're going to keep our feather. Lots of ghosts going off. Whew. I don't think we're going to work together, though. That looks like, or at least Harris isn't. Oh, there he goes. Hey. Good to see you, man. Ah. Not enough. Can I say? Change our channel to Disabled Sausage Dog. Ah. Good on those guys. Ah, I thought it was good. And then Harris. Oh, my God. He's doing like 5+ watts a kilo off that, most of that. Not this guy. We're waiting for flat as fast. But I'll take a podium. Maybe I won't delete the channel today. At least we got a podium. Oh no. So you mean if I change the channel name, I'm gonna get a bunch of copyright strikes from Lee. I mean, let's be honest. Lee has the most intellectual property on this channel anyways. I mean, he's responsible for grandma. Harris is a TT guy. Well, he should race TTs then. I mean, let's be honest. That's all Lee. Oh, is the bot not working?
I've been working out so hard today that my sleeves fell off. Ah!
Thanks, Norwegian Watts. Like I said, we'll take the podium, but it would have been nice to be a couple steps up on that. Oh, I don't know. What is that? I guess it's,
You know what I'm gonna do about it? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tweet my displeasure. That's right. I'm gonna jump on social media and I'm gonna tweet about it until my fingers
I think
bleed.
that was
I might even send an Instagram
my best climb
or
in a long
Vine.
time. Still got a bit of that cough left, so I apologize for that. But definitely feeling better. I feel like my breathing's a lot better. Hot grandma. So I think we're getting a bit used to being back up in elevation, which is good. Funny, I was talking to a vendor today in Sweden. Thought of you right away, being neighbors. Ah. Can't be Canadian and throwing that stuff out there. I mean, that's like saying we're neighbors. We are, but what? 4 provinces away, 5 provinces away? Ah. See that with the 3 in front of the name? You should be strong in an 8-piece TTT team. Yeah. No, he's a dirt rider. He's probably, if he's racing this time zone, he's probably on my team. He's just on a different squad. That because, as Miguel will tell you, you know, it's, I have all the excuses in the world for not racing TTT. We are. You know, just like Mexico's basically our neighbors too. The confusion in the chat is real. Yeah, it's just a short bike away. Don't get dropped. It's you know, I'll meet you in Manitoba and we'll go for a quick hundy. Oh, look, my internet went down today. Laugh out loud. It's funny. I was in Malaysia for 3 weeks, so I just, they were messaging me when I was in Malaysia, like, you gonna race this week? You gonna race? I was like, hey, I can't. I'm out of country. I'm out of country. And I got a message basically saying last week, it's like, hey, you're racing on Thursday. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, don't tell us you're out of country. I saw your stream on Monday. So, but I had a family dinner. But yeah, any excuse. Zimbabwe is only 32 centimeters away. Kemeet and Kenora should be halfway. Oh boy. Oh. Yeah, that's Canada's vast, man. Like, the reality is should probably cycle more of it. The problem is like, I live in Alberta, which is flat minus the mountains that I'm right beside. So if I start heading east, it's flatter, and like Saskatchewan's just flat. Then you got Manitoba, and I'm not really sure what's in Manitoba. Like, nobody talks about Manitoba here. If they talk about Manitoba, it's about Winnipeg and it's about hockey, and that's all anybody ever says about Manitoba. That, or being the murder capital of Canada, being Winnipeg. That's about it. Bucket list cycle across the country. That'd be quite the endeavor. It would be fun. The Trans-Canada Trail, which you would have to do more than just bike. You'd have to do some hiking in there because some of it is not rideable for sure. It would be good, but you definitely need support for that. You definitely need somebody to drive the support vehicle because, it's some of those roads. I don't know. I did some mountain biking in your local mountain. Oh, nice, nice. So did you go to Moose Mountain? Fun fact, I built a ton of trails out in Kananaskis and Canmore, and if you go north, I built most of the trail system in Peace River. I built a lot of the dirt jumps back in the day here in Calgary. Yeah, my wife, I just need to tell her. We're going for a quick ride. You're coming with me. Drive slow. But yeah, no, mountain biking here is spectacular. It's I fantasize sometimes about going back to mountain biking, but it's I don't think it's I'll go that route just because I know what I'm like, and it starts off as casual stuff, and then it just gets big really fast, and I'm at an age where it's I don't need to be jumping off cliffs and riding stuff. Like, I mean, my days of going to Red Bull Rampage and building stuff there with the boys is long gone and done. So we'll stick to road and gravel. Gravel being the gnarlier of the two. We do every once in a while. A lot of the guys that mountain bike with do have gravel bikes, and we'll go ride gravel, which is single track, I guess. Cross twice Canada. On time east to west, and the other time west to east. What? Wow, that's crazy. You've seen more of Canada than I have, because I haven't. The furthest east I have gone is Saskatchewan. And in fact, the furthest east I have gone is Regina, unless you include Pearson Airport, but it doesn't really count when you land, get on another plane, and then go somewhere else. So yeah, it's a huge country. I need to see more of it. I've done more north-south states. Back when I was doing mountain biking, we used to go in October. We would go down. We would go for Rampage, because it used to be in October for Rampage. We'd go to Rampage. We'd do Interbike. A couple years we did the mountain bike release films when I was doing films, and then we'd ride down there for a month, film some more stuff for the next film, and go on. Nothing like it's like Regina. It's yeah, Regina's an interesting place. I thought Alberta was flat, man. Like, it really isn't. Fallen off a bridged section of Whistler. Helmet was broken in 5. Ooh. Yeah, Whistler is a great place, though. Like, if you love mountain biking, Whistler is kind of the place to go. I mean, it's big mountains, lots of lifts. You don't have to pedal. You just take the chairlift. You like big jumps. You like big stunts. Great. A-line is like fantastic. I used to be able to ride that all day long. Just go and hit A-line, hit the jumps. Thanks, Miguel. It was. It should have been better. But those two boys, I'll give them credit. They were awesome on the climb. I created a gap on the downhill, which I didn't expect to do. I planned to do the super tuck, but I didn't think we'd pull away that much. And then that group just didn't catch back on, which I was kind of surprised. That gap was created. So, although they started closing that gap up the climb, so I'm glad I did leave them a bit. Lots of trails around in the forest. Yeah, 100%. That and Squamish, BC. A little more low key. It's good if you have local knowledge, good friends. My friend Aaron lives out there. He was in a couple of the films back in the day. He's got a great system of trails that he's a part of up there, and then some backyard stuff where guys have built some wicked dirt jump trails in their backyards. It's a ton of fun. If you like mountain biking, Canada is the place to be honest. It's especially BC, some of the best trails that you will ever ride, some of the best mountain stuff, tons of fun. But yeah, 3rd place, I'm not too unhappy with that. It's my first podium in a while. I've been tickling the podium for a bit. I did some of these trails. Friends has a bike shop in Whistler. Nice. Good place to have a bike shop. It's not cheap in Whistler. Whistler is a very expensive little town. Bring all your stuff in. If you're going to go mountain bike in there, bring your parts with you. It gets pricey there, And don't crack your helmet. It's not a good thing. But anyways, I don't know what's going to happen over Christmas. If you guys got stuff going on, hit me up in the Discord. Let me know what you're doing. I'm looking for stuff to do, to be honest. Like, I'm just going to probably ride aimlessly. I will stream randomly. There is no set anything for me. Naturally, I will be here on the usual times. On the Mondays, ZRL isn't racing, so Tuesday is probably a thing. Most of you probably have Christmas Eve tomorrow. I don't know if you guys are doing Rapha 500. Like I said, I always inadvertently do that anyways, just because I get bored and I start riding the bike for 2-3 hours at a time and watching TV, because I just don't want to sit around, and I get to kind of be in my own little space and nobody bothers me. Thanks, Ethan. That's probably, speaking of it, you see, you reminded me because you got promoted, Ethan. So for me, we're just going to close this off. Here, let me do this. We'll take a look at some stuff. We'll go close, and we'll go menu and end ride. And that way it's like all kind of done. And we'll save that. And then my 4-week streak, because my streak got broken, because like I said, went to Malaysia. Let's take a look. And what's the upper limit? 3... I can't remember what the limits are. I'm at 335. I've gone up to 335. So that puts me... still healthily in category D. Cheers. Hughes is on a TT on Saturday. Sprints Cranks is doing his birthday megapixel on Sunday. Oh, good, good, good. 350. So we're still comfortably in the lowest category. Sweet. We can ease back into things. Still. Maybe we'll get a flat race in D. Maybe we'll do Tempest Fugit in D. Maybe that'll be a thing. Or maybe we'll do some crit racing and then we'll mess it all up because crit racing is where it's at for me. But appreciate it, guys. Everybody for dropping in. How'd you do at the end of, how'd you do, Miguel? How'd your race go? I felt like if this was the category above, that I would have got demolished on that first climb. And to be, I got enough wiggle room with 469. I feel like I would have got absolutely smashed on that first climb, although I felt quite comfortable here. Was in the 355.20 race. Tonight's score went down to 470, from losing to 475s and 510s. Not sure how I can get my score up at this rate. 34th got dropped first half of the Mayan. See, and I would have been probably the first little bump. That's the thing. Like I said, it's interesting. I'll probably do a video on it. The scoring for the ZRacing. They've got it kind of split. I don't know what they're kind of accomplished there. The windows about, if you take the categories and you take the top portion, you've got about 60 points of wiggle room. I think they're trying to be a little bit more concise. I think what they're trying to do potentially is push some people, so they're really pushing their numbers at the end. So I think they're trying to make the groups a lot tighter and kind of push people to advance. The problem is if you're at the bottom of those groups, I think you're sunk. It's going to be a hard race for you either way. But that remains to be seen. Anyways, I'm going to keep on yammering on. I'm going to go hit the showers. Appreciate it, guys. Hit me up in the Discord. Let me know what's going on. Throw down your races that you're going to be in. I want to watch a good amount of stuff. If you're streaming, shoot me a note. Drop it in the Discord, whether that's Twitch, whether that's YouTube. Let me know. Ren, again, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. And we will catch you guys later. Until next time, see you.